Hello everyone and welcome back to CryptoLiveLeak. Today we have a very special episode for you. We have the pleasure to interview the Everstake team. We have with us Sergey and Vit, and the Everstake guys are a staking service that mainly services the Tezos blockchain. They do other proof of stake coins, but their main focus again is Tezos, and they are actually a top 10 baker within the Tezos ecosystem. So let's introduce these guys. How are you guys doing today? Welcome and thank you for joining the show.
Hello guys, thank you for inviting us. My name is Sergey, and yep, we're doing quite well. In this new year, we're trying to bring more value to the blockchain and Tezos as well. So we're here.
Yeah. Hey everyone, thanks for having us again. And yeah.
All right, guys. Well, yeah. Again, thank you so much for coming on. So, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this interview, let's get a little bit about your background. Tell us about why you got into cryptocurrency. How did you end up here with Everstake? What is your education history, and sort of bring us to how we got to now.
Okay, starting from the beginning, I am software engineer. I graduated and studied in technical university in Kiev in Ukraine. Spent many years coding and making good things, mainly in financial sector. It was banking, it was payment processing, defraud, and something that is connected with the payments. So that's why after I've understand what blockchain Bitcoin is, I totally pivot to this domain, created a company and started to operate in this field. That's why we're in crypto space more than 4 years. And when we notice the new generation consensus, which was proof of stake, delegated proof of stake, and so on. First, it was curiosity how to do it, because I understood it will be the next money. It will be money too. And from the early investigated, we currently maintaining near 30 different proof of stake chains. And many of them were top validator, baker, block producers. So I believe that we are one of major participants in this market right now.
Yeah, and I'm basically, my background, I'm an analyst, like a business analyst, but at Everstake mostly, I started off as a community manager, I think, at the very, very beginning. And now mostly manage projects. So like a product manager, I guess you can say. Basically, I joined the company like a little over a year ago, and yeah, from the very outset of Everstake as it is now.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, it seems like you have a pretty good diverse backgrounds there that mesh well together. And so again, Everstake is located out of Kiev, Ukraine, and you guys have over 900 roles in your bakery, so staggering numbers. And recently, I actually want to bring this up because there was a Reddit thread where the Tezbox RPC address had gone offline, and actually it was a Tezos Ukraine public node, as posted by you guys, that started handling these additional requests. And so tell us a little bit about what a public node is and how you guys are able to essentially help a lot of the community bake with that address that was provided.
When we start doing any infrastructure, we never use it in the single instance. So if we have some public RPC node, we have always backup node. If we have some baker, we have also backup baker. So we have a very strong DevOps team. 4 DevOps are handling all our infrastructure, which currently is more than 100 servers. And that's why if you are dealing with such number of equipment infrastructure, you could not handle it in not professional way. That's why we were ready to accept any kind of request from the number, from the quality and quantity. And our good friends that inform us that there is a problem, could you can guys to support with making your public not public, we do it. But then we understand that we cannot leave it for the night in the single mode. We added another server. Then we had weekends and New Year holidays. We were afraid of leaving it and added another backup node. And then we grow to the 4 servers in different location. And yeah, people understand that it is reliable and start switching to us. And now we are responsible to handle really million requests from every day. And yeah, we're working to improve the service as well.
So yeah, we basically started off small, but then just got carried away with adding more and more servers.
Well, I can't complain because I'm actually using that public node address, so it's doing me well, guys. You guys are doing me a great service, and I'm sure there's hundreds, if not thousands, of others out there saying the same thing. So again, thank you. So I wanted to say a little bit about your company. It's quite impressive that you guys are self-funded and actually profitable. A lot of the people in the Tezos community have actually been granted money from the TF in order to run their business and be ecosystem participants, but you guys have found a method to generate profits in a self-funded manner. So congratulations on that. However, you did say that with not only Tezos, but there's a variety of other proof-of-stake coins that you guys service, but you guys told me earlier that you're most excited about Tezos, and Tezos is your main focus. So tell me, why is it that Tezos has such high reputation with you guys?
So for me, Tezos is the most clear and educational blockchain that you can explain to people what stake needs. Usually, if some newbies or somewhere from my networking ask me, can you please explain me how to stake? Can you say me what the best chain to start? For me, it's obviously Tezos, because it's quite unique with the liquid proof of liquid deposit and with bakery fees and so on. So the model and the approach of proof of stake fits current market needs and quite clear for the newbies. So that's why we promote Tezos as educational material, educational example. Then one of the biggest challenges for the whole crypto community and projects is real use cases. And I really like that Tezos, like Tezos Foundation and all people around it, have a strong focus for financial instruments and tools. I believe that this is the only way to survive for modern distributed project is have a strong focus. I don't believe currently in making another dozen quantity of blockchains which general use cases for tokenizing or whatever. The key is focus.
Okay, excellent. And basically, so you mentioned a little bit about the focus on DeFi, the focus on what the use cases should be, and then also education and community. So you guys actually play a role in that as well. The community and education portion we'll focus on for now. A few months ago, you guys hosted, through the Tezos Ukraine brand, hackathon, where you had over 15 teams come and build on Tezos. And you did that in collaboration with our good friend Zed in his bakery. So tell us a little bit about what the Tezos Ukraine organization is all about, what do they do, and tell us a little bit about the hackathon and the results that you guys had from that.
So Tezos Ukraine was organically grow in result of our friendship with the Bacon Rolls and Zed. Our first attempt to measure and try to measure this community, local community, was through making a meetup. This meetup was sponsored and held with Tezos Governance Foundation. Then we met Zed, and those guys help us to do it more professional, help us to make more deep dive in the ecosystem and so on. And it was just first step to meet each other and to have a great friendship. But then we try to think what else we can do here, not just organizing for organizing, but bring some value. So Kyiv is well known as a big outsourcing city. There are like hundreds, thousands of developers here, and we understand this is the core value of our city and our community. That's why we decided to gather these people in order to make some good projects, hacks, or just play around with the Tezos. And it will be better way to spread this technology among the relevant people. than just talking about talking, like making announcements for the announcements. And we really were pretty impressed with the number of the people which were invited. Yep, we have a great prizes with the help of Tezos Common Foundation. So first place was 5,000, then 3,000. So it worth of participating. And then we gather more than 100, like 150 people, 15 teams. That was like two nights of hacking, and it was a great project. So winners of the hackathons made a compiler which transforms Solidity into native Tezos smart contract language and so on. So it was enough technical challenging task. And yeah, we do it. And now, believe me, that Tezos is well and much more known in the Ukraine and Kiev than before this hackathon.
Yeah, so basically, like, I guess, in a nutshell, you can describe Tezos Ukraine as just a group of Tezos enthusiasts from Ukraine. Yeah.
And that's great to hear that you guys have such a high population of developers, and then Tezos has its roots growing there in Kiev through your guys' efforts, and it's really a hotbed for developers. And now we have that resource available to the greater Tezos community. So I'm really glad that you guys are able to organize events like the hackathon and meetups through the Tezos Ukraine chapter. And so let's talk a little bit about 2020. We just turned over the calendar. We're now in 2020. There's a lot of new developments that people are announcing. Give me a little bit of insights into what projects you guys will be building out in 2020.
So first of all, we want to build a good, reliable infrastructure on Tezos public nodes. We call it giganodes. So we point ambitious goals for ourselves to handle millions and gigabit requests through our cluster. It's engineering challenge, and it will be useful for community as well. Then we are building Blockchain Explorer also for Tezos, and everyone understands that the more Blockchain Explorer, the better, as practice shows. But mostly we try to be focused on onboarding real business and real project from the finance and DeFi space on blockchain and Tezos as well, because it's the most crucial and important things to achieve in this year. I believe we are all great engineers. We can build whatever, but we really need to find the market fit in somebody who will be used disseminating technology to bring more value and to create new market. It's something that not only we, but everyone in crypto community and crypto space should be focused on.
Yeah, that's well said. And it's finding that market fit or a product that can be built on top of Tezos that is that real world use case that brings value to the chain as a whole. Very well said. And so one of the early use cases for Tezos is staking, right? Just earning interest off staking your coins. And we're seeing a new trend pop up where major exchanges are offering staking services like a Coinbase, a Binance, a Kraken, all offering staking services to their clients, their traders. So is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What kind of warnings would you give someone who's staking with an exchange?
So first of all is risks. So if you don't control your keys, you don't control your crypto. Any Binance, I don't know, Huobi, OKEx, all of those big exchanges, like they have handled all their operations enough professional. But in any case, any exchange is a risk. So people who are delegating or keeping their crypto on the exchange should accept this risk. At least they should understand those risks. If we talk about staking and staking coins, people should understand that they bring two types of the values. One is a value, so coin costs something, costs some value. It can be exchangeable by USDT or whatever. Another part is rights. So holding your crypto, holding your proof of stake coins give you a right to participate in voting, to participate in governments, to make a decision. And if you transfer your crypto to exchange, you also transfer your rights to participate in the governance, to make a decision in this network. So you're giving your voice to the exchange. If people consciously do it and understand what they do, yes, it's okay. But I'd like everyone to know that what they're doing.
Yeah, and I would say like I don't see it as a exactly like bad or good thing. It's just there. And there are people who want to take a risk and trade with their assets, so that's just the way it is. I don't see it as a big risk to the network. Like I think Tezos has been through a lot already, and you know, people already have learned their lessons, and there are a lot of, you know, you can see the amount of the percentage of people of the network staked, like the assets. So yeah, I don't see it as neither a good or bad thing. It's just there.
Yeah, it's important to note, just understand the risk that you're not self-custodying your asset when it's on an exchange. So it's up to the exchange to secure that asset. So very good and well said again. So before we wrap this up, guys, let's talk a little bit about the governance aspect on Tezos and why, or give it a review, the year in review. Are you satisfied with what happened in Athens and Babylon? Major upgrades don't seem to always be proposed during every amendment cycle. It seems like there is some maintenance that needs to be done in the interim. But I know there was one area of testing that you guys think is actually, you know, the biggest concern for the governance side of Tezos. You want to elaborate a little on that?
So like, my opinion is we do not need to invent a new wheel. People make a code for the dozens of the years, and everyone is now how to do it. We have main branch, we have like feature branches, we have development, we have releases, and so on. So this approach is already known and tested for the years. We need to do the same here, but pay more attention in order to be sure that new amendments and new features are well tested and are compatible with the current infrastructure. My personal opinion that current status of the Tezos can fully satisfy all the requirements of the dApps and financial services and whatever. So what we need to do is to improve equality. So we need to make more tested. We need to make manual tested, automated testing. We need to deploy, to spend more attention to the test net. We need to onboard more participants in the test net. We need to have some sandbox for the exchanges and other people, projects which are key people and projects in this market. And only after we will be pretty sure that the new upgrades are working well in the sandbox environment, yeah, we can easily like deploy on the mainnet. But I don't see the crucial problems in network right now in order to like make it more faster. We are moving enough well.
Yeah, I agree with Sergey. Like many people, I mean, some people say that conservative approach that the network has is bad because it's way too slow and et cetera, et cetera. But I would say that it's better to sort of, you know, to do things without any hurry than regret it later. So better safe than sorry. And I think also, you know, we had 2 amendments last year, which is very good. And we also learned an important lesson of testing things properly, I guess. So that is something you only know when you do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, guys, you put it well there, where sometimes it's better to walk before you run because you don't want to regret something that happens, you know, if you're rushing it. So very satisfied with the results we have so far, and the testing continues to improve and different infrastructure improves around that process. We'll see this sort of evolve over time. Okay, and so we'll lead into some closing statements. I was really excited to have you guys on today. Again, a top 10 baker within the Tezos ecosystem, a validator for many other proof of stake networks. You guys are Everstake. You can find more information on Everstake at everstake.one. And what do you guys have to say? Closing statements, guys.
Thank you for having us. I was very curious and funny to have this interview with you. And I hope to see you later.
Yeah, in the next T Quorum. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
At the next T Quorum, we'll catch up, I'm sure. And hey, hopefully we'll have you guys back on the show before then. Until next time, take care.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.